This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, Marvin Stottlemire with Topeka Civic Theater's senior class, Karen Christilles with TPAC, Jared Hitchens with The Dart, the Topeka Veterans Day Parade, local author Carol Luttjohann, and Gary Blitch with Framewoods and Southwind Gallery.
Welcome to Talk About Topeka. In the studio with us is a guy in an awesome shirt, and I wish you could see this on the radio, but this is the uniform for Topeka Civic Theater's senior class. We're with Marvin Stottlemire. How you doing, Marvin?
I'm doing just great, Chris. Good to see you.
Great to see you as well. And you guys, senior class, you know, you've got laugh lines at Topeka Civic Theater. You've got the senior class, a little bit different. It's the 55 plus range.
That's right. It's similar. It's improv, and actually it's a spin-off of Laugh Lines, as you know, used to be called Laughing Matters. Mm-hmm. Oh, and probably about 15 years ago, I asked Shannon if we could try to build up a improv group made up of actors over 55. He said yes, we did, and the result is Topeka Civic Theater's senior class.
Yeah.
Tell us why it was so important to have a group where, you know, some older people could come together, over 55, and have an improv group. Why is that important?
Well, for a couple of reasons. One, I know an awful lot of very good actors who now have difficulty memorizing lines, myself included. Mm-hmm. And I thought this would be an outlet for them. Plus, a lot of people in this age group are retired, newly retired, or about to retire, and they need something to do. I've had 2 or 3 members of the group say that Tuesday night workshop is the highlight of their week. It's where they get together. And third, and I think this is really most important, we want to give lie to all of the myths about aging. We're supposed to be slow, we're supposed to be forgetful, but we do improv, and improv is spontaneous, and we have actors. I think our oldest member now is 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
One of the funniest people you'll ever see, Dick Parton, tremendous comic, and he's interacting spontaneously and creating right on the spot. Old people aren't supposed to do that, and we do, though.
Keep you sharp.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it does keep us sharp, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a very exciting. It's a lot of fun for folks who haven't been involved with any of the improv programs at Topeka Civic Theater. What a great time! Really, as an audience member, you can be as involved with it as you like, you know, because they're going to ask for suggestions, you know, from the audience. So really, the show's different every single time. You really have no idea what you're going to get.
Yeah, it really is. And one thing that some people are concerned about an improv show is that they're going to go there and be embarrassed. We never do that. Mm-hmm. We invite the audience to participate, but we never put anybody in the audience on the spot. Mm-hmm. I remember the first time I went to an improv show was Laughing Matters back in its first years. I went home with my sides hurting, and that's still true. I mean, we have that in our Laugh Line shows, and our audiences from senior class also go away just saying, you know, my face hurts. And sometimes you can understand their face hurts us too, but it's a big laugh. It's a lot of fun. People come, they enjoy it, and it's great. We generally have walk-up tickets. We don't sell out every show, so you know, if you get your tickets ahead of time, we love that more. But if you want to take a chance and come down, you could probably get a seat.
And it's very affordable. It's only like $6.
$6, right?
Wow.
And it's on the small stage. It's a very intimate setting, which makes which I think makes improv better.
Yes.
It's quiet. You feel more connection with the audience.
I agree.
Very good.
I agree. I
Marvin,
got spoiled
thank you.
today.
Really do
You're very
appreciate you coming and speaking with us.
Jamie, thank you.
Folks, get out and check out the senior class at Topeka Civic Theater. We're with Karen Christilles. She is the new Executive Director of the Topeka Performing Arts Center. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here.
It's great to have you here. And now you took over as the Executive Director a little over a month ago. Is that right? I think it's been...
like a day or so over a month ago.
So, Very little bit, yeah.
That's right.
Well, welcome to the job. We're glad to have you there. Of course, you're replacing Michael Silva. He was on our show a little while ago, and we want to talk about some of the things that he was talking about when the Broadway series and all that, but you've been around the area, so you've seen, you're familiar with TPAC. We've seen ups, downs, we've seen all arounds with TPAC. What's your forecast? What have you seen, and how do you plan to jump in here and take the wheels and make TPAC a great success?
One of the things, and the person who really brought me to presenting is somebody that you all might know, and that's Jackie Davis, because Jackie Davis was certainly with the center at KU's campus when she was the founding director there, but she was with that center beforehand, and certainly when Hoke Auditorium burnt down, for 3 years, the Topeka Performing Arts Center was the home for the series that was there. And so, when our series was built there on KU's campus, she hired me, and then one of the first things she did is said, I want you to go to TPAC and look at their education program and look at particularly their volunteers, because we're all presenting the same shows, and so that's part of the business that of course we know. But it's how you connect with the community, which she found really special here. And so I came over 20 years ago and really looked at the education program. And I am absolutely thrilled that I'm now inheriting that, because we modeled the program at the Lead Center after what was going on here.
Excellent.
And we also modeled our volunteer program for our ushers after what was going on here. And I have to tell you that those are two of the joys that walking in the building, I just felt immediately at home, because seeing the kids come and see the performances and having that experience and being greeted by community volunteers, who they know, they went to school. At this point, a lot of our volunteers, were their grandparents' age, and so they know them from, church or school or the community. And so it's just like a great big family reunion sometimes, and I really love that.
Yeah, it was one thing I think when Michael was here, we were talking a little bit about how a lot of people don't necessarily know how many events TPAC does. There are a lot of events when you really put it down there, and the Sheffield Theater Clinic, all the little things that bringing the children in to show them performances. Lots of great things that happen to expose children to the performing arts, you can never talk about it enough because there's a lot of different projects that happen. Yeah.
And of course, we have our own special holiday event, and that's Gingerbread Homes for the Holidays, which is a Topeka tradition, and I'm so excited to learn all the backstory with this now. We have rooms over there that are just full of the decorations. So
Awesome.
If anyone's been, they're all kept very, in special paper. They're all kept really, really special until we pull them out each year. And we will, of course, have Norman the Nutcracker, who
he loves downtown.
He loves downtown. And I was like, have you visited his Facebook?
Oh yeah. Norman's a good guy.
He's a really good guy, and I was just like, I'm going to get to meet him, and this is really incredibly cool. But he will be certainly with us for many events, but particularly the Gingerbread Homes for the Holidays, and that is a fundraiser for our education program. The Sheffield Theater Clinic, which is every third grader gets to attend that.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot think of a more magical age than that third grade year when you want to believe, in everything, and theater can help you with that, anything is possible moment, and yet you're also moving on to wanting some real skills and build some skill set that's going to stick with you.
Yeah. There's plenty of time to get involved with that too, if folks would like to do that. How can, perhaps you're an organization, you want to get involved, how do they contact you or get involved?
They can contact us at the building, and I have the number here because I'm still new enough. It's
good. Yes, yeah.
234-2787, and anyone there at the center can help. But extension 101 is my extension, so they can call me directly if you want.
There you go.
No problem. And it's November 14th, 15th, and 16th.
Perfect. Write it down in this calendar. I'll say it again, November 14th, 15th, and 16th, Gingerbread Homes for the Holidays at Topeka Performing Arts Center. Don't make me say it again. Go ahead and write that down. Get it down in your calendar for a great event that the kids, the whole family, they're all going to love to participate in.
we went outside and we found a whole sea of people, and we tried to figure out who wanted to be on the show next.
He had a bright shirt on, so we brought him in.
He's wearing a bright shirt, so we just said, come on back. It's your lucky day. We have Jared.
That's a sucker.
You are. We've already established that. Okay, we have Jared Hitchens here with us from Parish Hotels. We're so excited that you're here. But today you're going to talk about the Dart.
Yeah, the Dart, the Downtown Adventure Race Topeka, and it's been going on for 4 years. We just finished our 4th year, and I've only been a part of it for the last couple years. They asked me to kind of do one a couple years ago at the Ramada, and so we did a whole leg over there.
That was really cool. I remember that.
You did a swimming pool.
No, the swimming pool. Well, no, we did. We did kind of integrate the swimming pool. Yeah,
you had a cool one, like setting up banquet seating, which was pretty cool. That was from 2 years ago.
For those of you that don't know, the Dart is kind of it's an adventure race, and it takes place downtown. Of course, I mean it's all kind of in the name. But what teams will do is they will go around to different places in the downtown area and try and accomplish goals and just kind of fun puzzles and things like that, and just race against other teams to see if they can complete the whole course in a timely manner.
And you went down this past year, and you took some pictures. So you were able to
last couple
see
of
what
years,
went on.
and it was interesting. There were some differences between the previous year and this year. Explain some of the spots that we had. Another interesting thing that I liked was there was one of the buildings that's been vacant for quite some time.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool, like a crime
scene. Yeah, that's we call it the crime scene leg.
Yeah, that was cool.
And yeah, what they did is they set up all kinds of little, tiny details into this one little small space. With, of course, like your typical chalk outline in the middle that had somebody, and teams would have to go up there and memorize as many details as they could. And then when they got back downstairs, they had to then answer questions that had to do with the space that they just witnessed.
Yeah, there was another one at the parking garage, at the Bank of America Tower down there. That was another one. People were running around doing events there. And then the finale was different this year, which was you get this chunk of ice which had a key frozen in it, and you had to thaw the key out without letting the ice block touch the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you had to use body heat, so it was quite interesting.
No
to
throwing
see.
it, anything
you couldn't,
like that.
couldn't do that. There were people rubbing it all over. Yeah, it was quite interesting.
Teams would lay down on the
Sounds
ground,
sexy.
and they would sit there and just rub the ice on
I
their
wish
back
I
and
were
everything.
there, man. Well, thank you so much. And I know that we're making fun of you, and we're saying that you spread yourself too thin. You've got all these things going on, but we do appreciate everything that you do in the community because you do make it a little bit better. You were the mixologist at the Jubilee. Oh, I didn't tell you that. You weren't with me. I was with Frank, your brother.
But you're doing it's a volunteer gig to do this. So this is when you look at a lot of the events that have been going on, you're dealing with people who donate a lot of their time because they believe in the events, they believe in the organization, they believe in the area of town that it's happening, whatever it is. I'm sure the salary for what you're about to do next year is probably what, 8-9 figures?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's going to cost me about
I'm sure.
We've got some very special guests in the studio with us today. I'm here, of course, with the lovely Melissa Jarboe. You've been on the show before several times, correct?
Thank you.
And Joanne Lacey is here. How are you, Joanne?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Of course, Jim Friel is here. How are you doing, Jim?
Doing great.
What are we doing this year? Last year you started this parade. It was the very first year for Topeka to have a Veterans Day parade, and this is the second year. So give us an update on where we're at.
With the Veterans Parade now, we are up to about 2,000 registrants for the parade. We're going around the state capitol. And we're excited. We have a huge grandstand that's going to be in front of the Judicial Center. We're going to have announcers, and we're going to have a ton of veterans coming from all over the state of Kansas to participate and have the community come out and honor them and thank them.
Excellent. And you had a lot of challenges last year, and we were talking about it. How has the community embraced this whole concept and supported the veterans?
This year has been a lot easier. We've had people from all over calling to be a part of this parade, or just knowing when to show up and what they should wear, what they should bring for the parade. So I think it's been easy, and Topeka's embracing it, and we're bringing the patriotism right back to downtown Topeka.
Absolutely. And Joanne, what does it mean? Jim, what does it mean to you guys to have the Veterans Day parade here?
It's just awesome. Of course, I lost my son in Vietnam, and I'm a Gold Star mother. So being introduced to this last year through Melissa and another friend, Diana Pitts, it has just been there's just no words for it. It's just awesome. They've done such a magnificent job.
Very good. Jim, what does it mean to you?
Well, it means a great deal. Melissa started this parade, and it's just at my age, 91 years old, and we never had a Veterans Day parade before.
You don't look a day over 50.
So you'd make
He
a
doesn't
big
act it
politician. But this has always been a veteran type town. Appreciate their veteran.
Absolutely.
But not to have a parade, it just seems unreal. And thanks to Melissa.
Yes, Melissa like connected the dots there, you know, and made it all happen, which was spectacular. So thanks for doing that. Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for your service. That's very honorable of all of you. So
My
thank you very
country
much.
too, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I was glad to share it with you.
I think it was easier to learn to fight than it was to learn to speak Japanese.
You were in the military. You were a corporal, and you were in there in a very interesting period of time. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
My experiences don't compare with a lot of people like these current crop of kids we have sending back and forth over there 5 or 6 times. We did an island at a time, and then you had a respite between. And we were fighting an organized, uniformed army, which they didn't experience. What would be a friend in the daytime to them is an enemy at night. We didn't have that. It wasn't that way with us. And we had the whole country behind us.
Yeah.
Civilians and the whole works.
Yeah.
It was a different time and a different period.
Unity is important, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the country that way again.
Yeah. Well, we can do it. We just have to do
We're doing it. We're doing
For
it.
people like Melissa, and it can happen.
Get downtown for the Veterans Day Parade on November 8th. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.
We're talking with Carol Luttjohann, author here, wrote a beautiful new book coming out about her experiences with her mother and dementia.
I don't know what camera I'm looking at.
And of
There
course,
we go.
you've also been published in the new Chicken Soup for the Soul book. And
Find your inner strength.
Yes,
There you are.
and
Very cool.
my question for you is, before your parents became ill, where were you coming from in life to this situation? Did you like to write before then? Where were you? How did you get to this point?
The earliest thing I remember wanting to do is write, but I was never had the courage to tell anybody. So this was my first endeavor after that. Immediately before I started caregiving, I had been in St. Louis for a year and a half, completing my Master of Social Work at Washington University in St. Louis. And I came back to Topeka thinking, okay, we'll get everything set up through the summer, I'll start a job and we'll maintain. Didn't work that way.
Yeah.
I got started and I kept at it for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
But like I said, I wouldn't trade a minute.
Well, what would you say to some people, because there are a lot of people, even for people like us, we have aging parents who are going to be getting into that realm. His father has already passed, but what would you say to someone who is now going to take on that caretaker role? What are some keys to making that work?
Enjoy it. Look for the best things. Remember, they're not trying to be difficult. Develop support group, support system. If you can get family and friends who can help, that's good. In fact, I'm actually also working on starting a nonprofit, My Mother's Daughter, to help caregivers keep people at home. That's another piece of what's come out of all of this, because I found so many holes in the system that I want to see filled.
And obviously you know what you're talking about. You've been a
social
caretaker
worker.
and you're a social worker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it really is a treat to have you on the show, and we hope everybody goes out, rushes to buy a copy of your book, and you've
It's
got
called
a couple.
Chicken Soup for the Soul.
That's Find Your Inner Strength, and then your book is.
This one is, she's not an old lady with dementia, she's my mother.
Yep.
And it's on Amazon, or they can email me and I can get a copy too.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Really.
you.
It's a wonderful story to hear, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Gary Blitch here with us, from Southwind Gallery at Framewoods.
Perfect.
Yes.
Great
so
to have
excited to
you.
see you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I have to tell
Yes.
you, I rickrolled him one day at his store. There was a
Rickroll.
video we put together for the folks over at Brookwood, and we went in and rickrolled them. We had a little song, and you learned the dance beautifully. Yeah.
Well, you're being kind.
I can tell you have rhythm.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I have rhythm, but I didn't know what. I honestly didn't know what the hell I was doing.
To tell you the honest truth, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but
clue.
I know you have rhythm.
No idea what I was doing.
Okay, well today what we are going to talk about is you are one of the first Friday Art Walk locations.
One of the pioneers.
We were. There were 5 of us, and it's been about 15 years, I would guess, that we've been doing that. And we seldom ever miss. Sometimes when First Friday falls close to the January 1st holiday or the July 4th holiday, we skip it. But for the most part, we've been there every First Friday for 15 years, and it's been quite an evolution.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your location and what it is that you have to offer, because people drive by all the time, but they don't quite know what's there.
That's true.
Tell them why to stop.
Good point. That's a good point. The outside of our building, we're at 29th and Oakley. We're on the north side of the street, right next door to that strange little drive-through McDonald's.
The mini McDonald's
Yeah.
that you can't get salads at.
No.
You can't?
No.
Interesting.
I would know that.
Too bad. And so people drive by, and it looks like a little cottage kind of a place. Once upon a time, it sold ski gear. And skis and all of that paraphernalia, and that's what it really looks like. It looks like, and then by the way, prior to that, it was an ice cream shop, and we still have the tile floor in the front of our place is the tile floor that was in the Peter Pan ice cream store a long time ago, years and years ago.
That is cool.
Yeah, I know it. Well, anyway, we have an art gallery, and we have a custom picture framing studio. And when I bought the business 22 years ago, it was strictly picture framing. And we were there, let's see, I'm the 3rd owner. There's another Framewoods in Lawrence, and that fellow started our business. And that was probably 35 years ago. And then he sold it. I got it from the folks he sold it to. And at that point, we continued to make picture frames, but I thought it dawned on me that maybe it would be a good idea to have some art to sell with the frames. And so we took on a little extra space and created an art gallery in that space. And honestly, I suppose I'm biased, but I think we have the best art gallery in 100 miles.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a great event that you have going on the first Friday Art Walk. That is going to be, what's the date of that?
November 7th.
November 7th. So it's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
4 to 8 p.m. is how late you're going to do it.
Right. It's a little longer than usual because of all the number of artists, and we'll likely have a large number of those artists will be in our place on Art Walk night to meet and greet people.
That's going to be your first Friday Art Walk. Make it your first stop.
That's where we start with us, and then go to Noto and have fun.
And while you're at Brookwood, check out Marion Lane Candles. They're over
There you
there.
go.
And,
Yeah.
go to the Linen Tree and see Melanie. That's
Exactly. And by the way, there's another. The Mad Eliza's is moving into the old juice stop.
Oh yeah.
And they're not moved in yet. I saw them yesterday trying to move boxes and things and trying to get ready.
It's a process.
And
First of all, I think it's a conspiracy against me, because then they put barbecue and cupcakes right next to each other.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just hateful. They're out to get me.
That's right. And this Tasteful Olive is going into the old birdhouse, wild birdhouse. So those stores over there don't stay vacant very long.
They don't. That's a great place to be.
It certainly is.
Visit talkabouttopeka.com to hear full interviews of all our guests. Connect with us anytime on Facebook and Twitter. Listen live and hear more from Chris and Jamie from 7 to 8 a.m. every weekday on The Big Talker, KMAJ 1440. And keep talking about Topeka.